Irish, it's just a drink. But is it something more? Is it another Irish cliche, or a strong part of our cultural background? It's time to find out what it means to have a Guinness.
The industry and the Guinness Storehouse is very, very popular. Pretty much everybody, we get 1 million visitors a year. When they come to Ireland, the first thing they do, they come straight to the Guinness Storehouse. A lot of people, they don't even check into their hotel, they actually come straight here, first of all.
Everybody comes to Ireland, they associate Guinness with Ireland. They think we all drink Guinness all the time. Half of the younger generation don't drink Guinness, but you know, the tourists coming over, they associate Guinness, Shamrocks, everything with Ireland, so they drink it.
Being in here now, obviously we get a lot of tourists in here, and a lot of people seem to have their first pint of Guinness ever in here because for some reason they don't seem to drink it in their country. Well, Artist Day started last year, and this pub now was Doran's at the time, but it was really affiliated with the sounds and the music and the whole Artist Day scene, which what it is, live music. So this year we continued on ourselves, and we put 3 bands on ourselves that day, starting at 4 o'clock that day right through till midnight. So we walked the treat. I would imagine on drink sales that day, especially around 6 o'clock or 17:59 as the time was, I think if there was 300 people in the pub, I'd say 260 of them had pints of Guinness in their hand. Yeah, it's 90% probably people drinking Guinness, maybe even more.
On Arthur's Day we got involved in the 1759 toast to Arthur Guinness, which most pubs around Dublin were involved in. Everybody had live bands, kind of international acts coming in. We had Biffo Clyro was one of them. We had the High Kings, an Irish trad band, and then the main act was Pello Nutini at the end of the night. We had more international travellers coming over, knowing what was going on from the previous year. They got word of it throughout the year, rather than from the first year, not a lot of people knew about it, you know what I mean?
Artist Day in the Guinness Storehouse was very successful. We had both this year and last year as well. We had a lot of media impressions, first of all, coming from worldwide. We had a lot of famous people as well in the storehouse doing gigs. We had Snow Patrol, Westlife, Sabian, Biffy Clyro. Then last year as well we had Tom Jones.
September had been used traditionally just to celebrate Arthur Guinness, the man, all around the world, specifically maybe in Irish pubs all around the world. And it really was just kind of a worldwide culmination or worldwide celebration of everything that Guinness has stood for over the past 250 years. So the very first Guinness advertising campaign was back in 1929, and that was the first time that Guinness is good for you was used as an advertising slogan. And then in the early 1930s, you start seeing the work of the artist John Gilroy, who was the guy who came up with all of the different circus animals to advertise Guinness. And that lasted pretty much throughout the 30s, the 40s and the 50s. And actually into the 1960s, John Gilroy was also still drawing for Guinness. And then I suppose from the 60s onwards, you start getting the advent of television ads for the first time. So Guinness appeared on the very first night of commercial television. And then throughout the 80s and the 90s, certainly in Ireland, there would have been an advertising agency called Arts, who were based in Dublin, who created an awful lot of iconic Guinness ads going back to, say, 1977. There's a very famous one called The Island, which was where men were rowing across the Aran Islands in a curragh with the line at the end, Thought You'd Chopped. So it was one of the very first ads in Irish. And that ad won Ad of the Millennium in a poll back in 2000. So really, really iconic ad.
So here we are in the Gravity Bar. This is the highest bar in Dublin. I'm going to pour a perfect pint of Guinness. Gravity Bar is actually 144 feet, or 44 metres high. And as you can see, a perfect pint of Guinness there. So as you let it settle, you can see the surge of the pint of Guinness, 2 gases in Guinness, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. So the carbon dioxide is sinking to the bottom, while the nitrogen is rising to the top. And so the final step to pouring a perfect pint of Guinness, topping it up. And there you go. Perfect pint.
culture, pride, and taste.
Smooth is the first one.
Original, Irish, delicious.
The next one is warm. There's something about it just warms me up.
3 words when I think of Guinness, probably black, creamy, and cold.
And I would say camaraderie, because, you know, when I drink Guinness, I'm usually with friends.
International, high quality, and well known.
Sometimes, depends. It has to be cold enough. If it's not, it's horrible.
I did them for 31 years, but now I've tried it here in Dublin for the first time. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I love Guinness. Yeah, I drink Guinness normally, like be my drink of choice.
I do. I love it.
So there you go. Now you know what it means to have a pint of Guinness. Sláinte.